plus consumption. So guys, also you don't have to, again, I repeat, you don't have to read the book. If you want to get 70 plus, you just need to look at these slides and understand what each statement means. Here, the determination of equilibrium output and mass equals sales. Okay. Again, I wrote this formula before. Our total demand or goods equal to consumption plus savings plus government spending plus our export plus a minus imports. And we are also looking for in the short run, not long, medium or long, and we are considering closed economy. So where export and imports are equal to 0 because we don't import or export any goods. Here consumption. Again, in the first chapter we have, and also here again that they're repeating disposable income is income after tax. And that's one is consumption formula. So C1 is C1 is marginal propensity to consume. So effect of additional dollar of income on consumption. It's just a slope, guys. This one is slope. So increase in additional unit of income results in this much increase in our consumption. This again, they are repeating. Also, endogenous variable, exogenous variable. Also, endogenous variable, they are dependent on something, and they can be explained in the model. And exogenous model, they're just taken as given. For example, here our exogenous formula is, let's say, consumption or a total demand, but our investment is exogenous. It's independent, not dependent on other variables. That's thing you need to know.
Exogenous given, yeah?
Yes.
It's always given or sometimes you need to find it. It's always given or you need to find it sometimes.
It's kind of it doesn't depend on something. So here, now we are considering and made short run. And in our formula, our exogenous are government spending and investment. And our endogenous is our total demand or our consumption, production. Also G and T are also exogenous because G is government spending. No, they're making equilibrium in this thing. So guys, again, they're just here. They're just changing our consumption, right? Here, this consumption formula, and that's our slope, and that's our disposable income. They're just plugging one formula to another. So, and they're making equilibrium condition, where our production equal our consumption, total consumption. Again, this formula. You can derive this formula if you just know how, the general formula and disposable income and consumption. Now they're kind of autonomous and multiplier and autonomous spending.
I have a question. Why you have some stuff
And this one is this bar means that this one is exogenous investment.
And why don't we have it on government spending?
Because investment always assumes that it's exogenous, and I read the book, and government spending, it's not always exogenous. That's why they are not putting bar into it. I assume this way. Now they're just now let's derive our multiplier and autonomous spending. First, should I start from the beginning? Like our general formula, right? Consumption plus investment plus government spending. And because that's closed economy, we don't consider import and export, and we assume that they're equal to 0. So guys, our consumption formula was like this. C0 intercept plus our slope, like that's, you know, minus T, that's our disposable income. So now let's plug in this one to here. Y is equal to C0 plus C1 y minus t plus I plus g. Let's open the bracket. Y equal C0 plus C1 multiplied by y plus C1 multiplied t minus y plus g. Now let's take y's into the one side. So it's going to be like this. Y equal C1 multiplied by y equal C0 minus C1 multiplied by t plus investment plus government spending. Now we can derive y as done like this. 1 minus C1 equals, again, this one. So now what we can do here is that we can find our multiplier and autonomous spending. That's going to be multiplier for our consumption. So y is equal to, let's divide it. If you divide like this, I can write it like this. C1 multiplied by our autonomous spending. Like this. That's our multiplier and that's autonomous spending. That's how we are deriving it, step by step. Also guys, like, I want to talk about C1. C1 is always greater than 0 and less than 1 because it's the proportion that we consume, and it always has to be like less than or equal to 1 because we cannot consume like twice as our income. That's why. It's kind of 100%. 1 means kind of 100%. So also, what does that multiplier mean? Okay. So this multiplier means that when like, for example, one of these variables increases, our multiplier increased by like this much. Let's say our government spending increased by 100, and they're asking that find the increase in our consumption, total consumption or total demand. So what we can do, we will have like this ratio. If this ratio, let's say, we assume that it's equal to 0.4, and our government spending is increased by $1,000. So we assume that like holding other variables constant. So 1 minus 0.4. That gives us, let's make it 6 in order to make calculation like precise. So that gives us 2.5, right? So it means that an increase in government spending $1,000 results in increase in consumption by our multiplier multiplied by 1,000. So 2,500. That's what multiplier means. They also do it like this.
So it's the same for government spending, for investment,
Yes.
for all the stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, autonomous spending means that like it doesn't depend on our output. That's what we call autonomous spending. Like I told you that like we need to eat in order to survive. Even if you don't earn, this will what we call autonomous spending. That's how I shift. Now like IS relation investment equals savings, guys. Now we're dealing with another stuff. For the rest, I will write about private savings. Private savings. So what's private saving is, like I will write it down to C. Private savings is equal income after tax minus our consumption. That's our like like savings, right? YD, our income minus our consumption. That will be our saving. And also again, like they're expanding formula YD, you know guys, Y minus T, like this formula. They're just expanding this one. And also like public savings. Public savings is, I will write here SP, so it's public, means taxes minus government spending. Also, they're saying that like when our taxes is greater than our government spending, we have a budget surplus, and when our taxes is less than government spending, we have a budget deficit. Again, they're writing this here, and they just in order to like derive something, they're subtracting t from both sides. So y minus t, c plus I plus g minus t. So they're subtracting this. Now, guys, also so YT, to derive something, also their consumption will be like minus to the left side, Y minus T minus C, and equals I, investment plus government spending, minus taxes. So guys, what is this? Expanding this form, Y minus T minus C, right? Our disposable income equals income minus taxes minus consumption. So it's private savings. I will just write S. So here, what is G minus T? Public savings, right? I plus S public. No, like sorry. It was like vice versa, right? Like taxes minus government spending is like public saving. So investment, if I like do it like this, now I can write it like this. Now S public. I just did it like this, guys. Minus T minus G. That's our public saving. So now, like investment will be in the right side plus S plus SP. So our investment is equal to our private savings plus our public saving. That's how they are deriving like investment equals savings. Saving is like our accumulated wealth over time. Accumulated wealth means that like from the beginning we are saving. That's called savings.
Can you please skip that slide? Thank you.
Again, like Y is our production and Z is demand. Yeah, two equivalent way of stating that condition for equilibrium in goods market. And we finished lecture 2. Now let's solve questions. First question. So the answer is YA. This thing like the value of output produced. The value of output produced means that like they're not telling there is a intermediate goods or not. They're just taking like just value, not considering that there is a like.
That's why it's C.
See the firm has GDP if it is intermediate good. Come on, guys.
Intermediate goods is that like
Yeah, firm output will
Final
count
good.
as GDP if it is intermediate goods. Intermediate goods, yeah, we just need one good to produce another. How about another good? It's not intermediate, right? Because, so guys, look at B. The firm output contributes to GDP only to the extent that there is a value added. Also, if you read the book, there's a called value added. Value added means that how much value they're adding. For example, again, we can think about, let's say, steel production. They have a coal, right? So coal is $15,000, and still, like its revenue was $30,000. The coal was intermediate good, and its value added, and if you like do it like this, coal's value added is $15,000, and how about steel's? Steel's like value added value is equal to like that's total revenue minus it is like minus intermediate goods revenue or value.
Isn't intermediate good is already a final good? Or I'm just mistaking it?
No, intermediate goods is
The
good.
one that's contribute to make another
Yes.
good, yeah?
Yes, another
Okay.
good is final good, right? Here our final good is steel and intermediate is good. So each of them is adding value 15 and 15. Here keyword is value added. That's why it's B. Which of the following is endogenous variable in our model? Endogenous means that like dependent in another. So guys, here also you guys know that like what's dependent and independent, right? They can be explained in the model. Yes, all of them above. Because also we have a like equation for income, equation for disposable income, for savings, and for consumption as well. They are dependent on other variables. Disposable income equals just look at the formula and know how to derive the formula.
That's E.
Yes.
You guys see E?
Yeah.
Just look at the formula one more time, please. Not only for this formula, we have also savings, right? Also here, disposable income we have.
Yeah.
So guys, if you look at this formula, so what does it tell?
Savings plus consumption.
Yes, sum of consumption plus savings, right? Just look at this formula. So in order to find YD equals savings plus our consumption. And our answer is D. Multiplier. Here is multiplier, and what is our propensity to consume?
4.75.
You'll find multipliers then. 4, right? 1 minus 0.75 is equal to 0.25. 1 divided by 0.25 is equal to 4.
Government spending.
Yes, government spending is exogenous. Consumption is endogenous. Savings also endogenous. Disposable income also endogenous. So only government spending is exogenous. First, guys, propensity to consume is 0.9. Find the multiplier. Mm-hmm.
Eight.
Yes, 100. Here, increase is already given, so we need to find how much government spend must occur. We have also propensity to consume, so in order to find our multiplier, it's gonna be like this, C1, and our C1 is equal to 0.1, 0.9. And if we plug this one, our multiplier will be equal to 10, right? So increase should occur 1,000. How much we need to spend? So 1,000 divided by 10, 100. Economy is in equilibrium when which of the following conditions satisfied? In equilibrium point, guys, we find, right? IS model total savings equal investment. That's when economy is in equilibrium. Here we derive.
About last question, question 6. So let's say only government spending in this case,
Mm-hmm.
but could it be the same for
Investment?
autonomous spending or investment?
Yeah, for the investment, yes. For the investment, it's also like
What
this.
about autonomous consumption?
That's autonomous consumption. Whole.
No, I mean
Like taxes, you mean?
No, C0.
For the C0,
Yeah, could it be the same?
no. C0 is ratio. It will not be like this because it will be. How can I explain to you? Just imagine, just know that they can all say government spending or investment. That's it. Don't think about C0 or my C1 monthly taxes.
Because it's not a ratio, yeah. Because in this case it's 2,000. It could be 2,100.
No,
And
it is-
I guess.
intercept, and it will not be like this. So just think about investment or government. When they will not say that when our C0 is equal to increase by this much,
Mhm.
how much our consumption will increase. They will not say that. So this one is total savings equal investment. we derive it, right? Investment equals savings, private savings plus public saving means total savings. So autonomous spending in equals which of the following? Which one? Autonomous spending.
B? Wait just a second. Yes.
A. Yes? Tax is always minus. Which of the following represents total savings for an economy?
G?
Hmm?
G?
Mm-hmm. Yes, none of the above. Because like some of the price savings in consumption, no, they're saying that like they're not considering public savings here in A. Also D, some of the private savings and again fixed investment. What's fixed investment? Like they are saying that this one. Also, they are not all again not considering public saving.
So the correct answer is tax minus government. Should be.
No, like no, some of private savings and private like public savings.
Right?
Yes. This one, guys. Solve it. Use the following information to answer the question. Like we did it right. Now it's multiple choice form. Just fine, guys. Let's see how fast you can calculate. In exam, whenever you see this type of question, you need to solve it like easily. To do this, you need to solve it like 2 times or 3
That's
times.
D?
Yes, D. You see, you're fast. First determine those exercises.
It's the same stuff, but
Like they're saying like theoretical question.
Okay.
I hope it's the same.
Just a second, let me show like class your script.
I just did like this. 0.75 y there.
No, there wasn't this type of questions.
I did put in the left side, so I got 0.25 y. And also other stuff I just multiplied.
Guys, now they're asking. You need to like derive this formula. You need to derive this formula. Use the second investment equals savings approach. By using investment equals savings approach, you need to derive this formula. Can you do it by yourself? Just try.
Yeah, let's try.
Yes. You need to like to make it this the form. So to do this here, this, and also it's like savings, investment. Just try. You need to start like this. First, you need to start like this from the beginning. Investment equal S private plus S public. Then what does like S private is equal to plus what does like S public equal to? Then you go ahead. Then the final form should be like this. No, you need to first find like investment equal S. should be like final form.
Yeah, good.
Investment we call this like
here.
Like this.
You see, it's kind of
Yeah. Okay. Now we have here C0 minus C1. 연수도야? 연수도. 그러니까 just regarding C0 minus C1. What? C1 what? From this. Yeah, with taxes. Yeah. What are the two more variables? Yeah, right now. Oh, you read it from right to left.
In the bracket, trying to put the y's into left side. Y's, like y minus c1 to y1.
Okay.
Left and go
And now it's
here, you see, like,
multiplied by 1.
when you're here,
Move it
here, here.
to the set, which is this minus c plus I plus g divided by 1 minus c, yeah? Which is basically this minus c1, c0, c1t plus y and plus I plus g.
Yes, correct.
That's the same stuff. If you just multiply this with this by 1, you will get this one. Now we're checking.
You see here, for y equals g, I see. Here you see also, I derive this kind of this y like this.
Yeah.
It's also written. That was a question that they're asking. I think like I saw all of you guys solve it, so no need to solve on the board. Because like I already solved like most important part. Here you just need to plug those values, like reverse version, vice versa like this. This one, this one, this one.
Can you just stand for a bit? I
Hmm?
want to understand. Or like how they explain me to come up with IS to Y.
IS to y?
Yeah, like in what moment they ask me to do it?
Hmm?
In what moment in the like all the exercise they ask me to do it?
For example, like
Use the second and
use the second investment equals savings approach to find this equivalent output equation. There, this is like equivalent
Yeah.
output equation. They're just asking a hint, like just use this. That's the question they're asking. That's the formula. I think now you know how to derive it, right?
Yeah, I know how to do it, but why I do it? Like
No, I don't know because that's their exercise. Because I think they're just helping us to know how. You just want to test how did we understand this both approaches.
yeah.
So their both approaches are kind of interconnected to each other. By how much does y increase when g increase by 1 unit? Like, again, like find the multiplier. They are saying see guys, like that's our autonomous spelling, right? TIG. Now these are the things can be changed according to our multiplier. So here they didn't give us any value for those like G, T and investment. They're just asking that like how much does this Y increases if our G increase by 1 unit. So when G increased by 1 unit, so our like Y increased by how much? Our multiplier. Because positive, because like G is positive here in autonomous spending, so also it will be increased by this much. Our multiplier. How about the second one?
Same
T.
stuff, but decrease because it's minus.
Yes. It will decrease by minus multiplier. That's like, because here just look at this relation. Here it's minus T. If it was increased, it also increases. If taxes increases, this one is decreases. If taxes decreases, this one increases.
Is it multiplied by C1 or just it increased by just multiplier? I mean we also again multiply C1 because we have the slope of T.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to find like slope. Then C1 minus C1 divided by this.
Yeah.
Because T has a slope. But I and G doesn't have a slope, that's why.
And could you please write it? How can we write if we'll have this kind of question? Can you repeat it?
So they just give us this equation, right? Again, I don't want to derive it like this. Just, I will explain like this way. With autonomous spending and our multiplier. So guys, like they're telling us that our government like spending is increased by 1 unit. It's just a unit, we don't know. Million, thousands. So it's just increasing by 1 unit. So like we saw the previous question and that previous question, like our government spending was increased by like $100 and it results in increase in our total consumption by like 1,000, right? So what we did there, we just find this like ratio multiplier, right? Now we don't have C1, we just have this one, and we have like increase in this value. So what we did basically to find increase in Y, we just C1 multiplied by our government spending. Since it's 1 unit, we can assume that like it's 1, so our consumption increased by this much unit. Whether it's millions, doesn't matter, you just need to write. So if our government spending is increased by 1 unit, our total consumption increased by 1 divided by 1 minus C1 unit. Like this, you're gonna write it like this.
Put the change sign.
Where?
Government spending.
Ah, the change, right?
Yeah.
By how much does y decreases when t increased by 1 unit? Now, like, that's negative. And now now in order to find this one, like it will be like this, minus C1 divided by, like multiplied by this one. So again, like, we just need to like multiply, again it's 1 unit, you need to multiply by like this, then you will get, you will get like change. And why are your answers 2 and B are different? because of the slope that we have.
Isn't it like the multiplier multiplied by minus C1 T?
Hmm?
Why are we leaving T here?
T?
Because T is changing, not our.
Because but
Constant
T
C1.
has slope.
Yeah.
T also have rate of change. T also have slope. That's why. That's why we are like taking minus C1.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that you're saying minus C1 multiplied by the multiplier,
Yes.
but T increases by 1 unit, not our slope.
You know, slope is constancy.
Yeah.
Imagine that our slope, like minus, like let's say C1 T. That's like for the T. Let's say our C1 was equal to 2. That's called 2T. And let's say 2 equals 100. At first, how much is this? 200. Now, like our T increase by 100. Increase by 100. Now our 2 equal to 200. So total will be how much? 400, right? Right? 2, like slope multiplied by this one. 400. Now imagine if you just take T without slope, there will be like there will be 100 and 200 and like no change. That's why when this means that when T increase this much, like our slope, you know slope, right?
Yeah.
And slope means that like I'm confused.
So this C1 has influence on T.
Yes,
Anyway.
yes, that's fine.
Yes, I know.
Like, why are you questioning them? Because that's slope, and we cannot neglect the slope. Slope is kind of when T increase by 1 unit, like this, let's say, our Y is equal to XB. When B increase by 1 unit, the Y changes by X. You see? Here also, when T increases, our Y decrease by C1 slope. That's the expression of slope. Question 15, guys. What is the value of multiplier if the propensity to consume is 0.6? You guys can solve it, right? Let's solve. A is easy, multiplier.
So 2.5.
Hmm?
2.5.
Yes?
Multiplied by 1 billion. Because we have change.
So our multiplier is equal to what?
2.5.
0.6. If you put 0.4, 1 divided by 0.4 is 2.5. Our multiplier is equal to 2.5. What would have been the effect of output of the increase in consumption? So guys, here, suppose that consumers had decided to increase the consumption so that C0 had increased by 1 billion. So our consumption increased by what? How much? There is a multiplier, guys. That's our consumption. 2.5. That's multiplier is multiplier, guys. Kind of slope of these values. So since our multiplier is 2.5, our consumption increased by 2.5 billion dollars. That's second good.
We're asked to find the effect on the consumption. Overall consumption, I mean, overall consumption is equal to C, just C, not C0. I see.
Yes, So if this one increase, right?
Yeah.
So what's the effect increase in C0 to overall consumption? Question is this.
Overall consumption, yeah.
Yeah, question is this. Overall output or consumption. So what is the increase in this? Result in this. So if this increased by 1 billion, so result is here 2.5 billion. Our output will increase by 2.5 billion. That's what they're asking. Get it? Last one for today, like lecture 3, like financial markets. Here they're explaining what money, income, savings means. You guys know already, I think, what does it mean. But here in multiple choice, that's like you need money is used for transaction, but it pays no interest. Two types of money: currency and deposit accounts. Bonds, they don't count as money. And demand for money. More funds, no, we don't need one. So demand for money is like they're labeling as MD. So it's equal to nominal income. This one, times decreasing function of the interest rate. I will explain later. Increase in interest rate, decrease demand for money. When increase, why? Here, increase in the interest rate, decrease the demand for money. So people put more of their wealth into bonds. That's what. When interest rate is high, they don't want to hold their money in the form of cash or in deposit accounts because there's interest rate. So they want to buy bonds. You guys know that bonds pay interest, like coupon. Also here, that's interest rate is dependent on money. And when our demand for money increases, or when our nominal income increases, which means that interest rate is increasing, we have more money. So when people have more money, which means that inflation is higher, so the interest rate. Here they're money supply and money demand function. When we guys know that also when demand for money increases, our interest also increases because we are demanding more money. That's why interest rate will increase.
Can you please show it one more time?
Here, given the money supply, increase in nominal income. When our income increases, so it means that when our nominal income increases, so our money demand curve shifts to the right, not it's what was called line.
Oh yeah, I see.
It shifts when nominal our income increases. Increase in supply of money leads to decrease in interest rate. So when government wants to decrease interest rate, or when they want to increase the money supply, they start buying bonds from the people. so that they will increase the money supply. When money supply increases, our interest rate will decrease, and our bonds price will. So government demanding more bonds, so bonds price will increase. Bonds price results in decrease in interest rate. So also money supply will increase. Open market operations. Yeah. There's like expansion of open market operation and contraction. Here you can see that like the central bank expands the supply of money by buying bonds. So they are buying more bonds, and that will call it expansionary, and contractionary is vice versa. They are like selling bonds to people. They are decreasing the money supply. That's called its contractionary. And expansionary, why it's called expansionary? Because they are increasing money supply by buying bonds. Here also you guys like bond pricing, you guys all know because we said like corporate finance, it's easy, right? Like they're saying that like interest rate, that's interest rate equal, that's like our bond, here it's PB, it's our bond's face value or par value. That's maturity value, 100. They're just like determining the like interest rate. Current year, like change when how to find like in change or in percentage, like current price minus previous year price divided by previous year price or base year price. Yeah, higher the bond price of the bond, the lower the interest rate. The higher the interest rate, the lower the price of bond. Yeah, lower the price. Yes. Relation between deposits and reserves. So it's just that's R and theta, or what was it called, guys? Who knows, theta or theta? D. Here we will see. That's deposits. Now that's like thing we need. That's like main formula for financial market. So demand for SU means like demand for currency D equals C multiplied by demand for money, and demand for deposit accounts. Deposit accounts means DD, and equals so guys, you guys know that like people sometimes they hold their money and they put some of their money in the currency because they want to do like to live. You know, for example, let's say I'm kind of earning $10,000, and for 1 month I need $2,000. This $2,000 I will put into the demand like for currency form because I need this money for 1 month. But $8,000 I want to put somewhere so that inflation doesn't affect it. So I will put it in deposit accounts. So that's like C, it's total. 1 minus C is like, C is for like my currency, $2,000. And 1 minus C is $8,000. Like my total income minus my demand for currency. You can see 1 minus C. And relation between deposit and reserves, they put it like this. Now, like for demand for deposit accounts, they are plugging this formula. So demand that's demand from the reserves. So RD equals theta multiplied by what was our DD, like demand for deposit accounts, 1 minus C multiplied by MD.
What is small c?
Where's small c?
Like 1 minus C multiplied by MD.
It's a proportion of money, like here demand for currency. It's a currency.
It's like also from 0 to 1, yeah?
Yes, it's also from 0 to 1. Kind of explain percentage.
Yeah.
0.2 is 20% of money I am holding currency. That type of things. Demand for central bank money. So HT is demand from the central bank. So demand for currency plus demand from the reserves. That gives us like central bank money. So central bank controls interest rate, central bank controls the money supply, they do everything related to money. So this formula, guys, remember. Then also like they're also plugging all these numbers into one. Like HT is equal to SQT plus RD. So you guys know that our SQT is equal to SMD.
Yeah.
So HD equal to SMD plus what was our RD equal to? This thing. Delta 1 minus C MD. Then there again, I think find autonomous spending, or what's called here? Money multiplier. They're finding money multiplier.
What is YL?
YL.
Yeah.
So here you can see like YL. Just a second. Demand for money and is equal to nominal income. It's Y. Times decreasing function of interest rate. L is like, it's kind of saying interest rate.
It's something multiplied by interest rate.
Yeah, but I don't think that we will calculation like this. Now we need to find like money multiplier. Again, they're plugging MD like into we have YD and our MD equal to $Y L interest rate, and we will plug HD SMD plus this thing. First
Yeah, take out the brackets.
MD become the bracket, right? They did like this.
Yeah.
MD S plus theta 1 minus C. Now instead of MD, I will put this. HD equals $sign theta 1 minus C. Let's see what they derive. So they derive money multiplier. Now, like they're explaining that when supply of money equal to supply of demand. So to do this, we need to that's our demand for money, I guess. Yes, that's our demand for money, and that will be our multiplier. So 1, it will be like divided by like this. C plus theta 1 minus C multiplied by HD equals to Y L interest rate in decreasing rate. That's our demand for money. That's our supply for money. So H means that here, guys, H means that H powered money is term used to reflect the fact that the overall supply of money depends in the end of the amount of central bank money. So that's H, or monetary base. That's what they're labeling as H. A list of questions.
We have 9 topics here to go through for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Monday, like I will explain crucial one, and then like for 1 hour we will solve like last year exam question if I find like those questions, because right now I only have scripts.
On Monday.
Yeah, on Monday I will do like first session for like
Okay.
that will be like last thing for today because I'm really tired. Okay, guys, which of the following is component of money? Like money means that like we use it for transactions. Yes, none of the bonds. We cannot go to the store to just give me this. I will give you bonds. They will say,
Like with your stocks.
yeah. Which of the following is component of money? Yes, all of the above. Coins, bank notes held by banks, checkable deposits. They can give check. You can write check and they can get money. The money of demand curve will shift to the right.
B.
B.
Reduction in interest rate. When like what will happen when our money supply increases? Interest rate will fall, right? You see, like reduction interest rate. Now they're this one and this answer is they're kind of interconnected. They become interconnected, right? And what will happen when there's an increase in income, our nominal income? Yes, like I explained, like one curve, right, guys? There is a when our income increases, nominal income increases, our demand curve will shift to the right. When like interest rate, like change in interest rate, there will be no shift. There will be like movement along the curve. That's why correct answer is A. Which of the following affects demand for money? Like whether our demand for money
All of the
increases or decreases.
All-
Yes. Interest rate, like prices, yes. All of the above. Which of the following general occurs when central bank pursues expansionary monetary policy? So, what was in expansionary policy?
When more like
When, oh, well, when bank
Government
Gives
will
more money
increase
to-
money supply.
money to the economy.
So when money supply increases, our interest rate will
Fall.
fall. So correct answer is A. So in order to increase the money, what government do? They
see, they sell bonds.
buy bonds.
No?
They buy
Yeah.
bonds. So purchase of bonds and interest rate decreases. B. We would expect which of the following to occur when central bank uses expansion monetary policy. Again, like when governments are purchase of bonds, what will happen? So bond price, because government demanding like more for bond prices, so bond price will go up. And here, increase in bond prices. So interest rate will increase or decrease?
Decrease?
Yes, correct answer is C.
Can you please explain that question 5 again?
Yeah.
So,
When like there was a expansionary and contractionary policy, when government choose expansionary policy means that they want to increase money supply. In order to increase money supply, they start buying bonds from the people so that they're giving people money. You see, they're taking one note and I'm giving $1 billion. What I'm doing, I'm increasing money supply.
yeah.
And again, I'm taking a piece of paper and I'm giving $1 billion. So increase. That's called increasing like money policy, expansionary policy, and it will result in interest rate decreases.
To increase money supply, shouldn't they buy bonds? Oh, I mean sell bonds.
Yeah, when they sell bonds, just
Yeah,
imagine.
I give money.
Just
to you.
yeah, you are giving me money.
Yeah.
To me, I'm government.
Yeah.
So money supply means that then can you do exchange with these bonds to these people? No,
No.
you can't, because you are people means that when they increase money supply, they mean that they're increasing money supply like for the people, not for the government.
Yeah. Okay.
So 6 is C. 7 question, question 7.
What's above?
C.
No, no,
When people have more income, so that they spend more money,
Yeah.
Right?
And then
well, what will happen if they spend more money?
interest rate will decrease.
Interest rate not decrease, it will increase. Because just imagine you have like $10,000, your income increases. Yes, prices will increase. So which means that our interest rate is increasing. So correct answer is
Isn't it like
A.
when income reduces, the demand for money increases, and then interest rate also increases for it?
no. No, just imagine like, what do you mean reduction in income?
Yeah. So income reduces, like overall population, yeah. Then demand for money increases, yeah, and then interest rate also increases because more people need the money.
No, just imagine reduction in income means that like you are consuming less. You're consuming less means that people don't have much money, so that interest rate will not be higher. If it is higher, people need to keep up with interest rate. If interest rates becoming higher and higher, like people will be like living in a very good, like very poor condition.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like for example, if you have less money, you cannot buy like the things. For example, today you have $1,000, and the price of the meat is $5,000. You have 10,000, right? And next year your income becomes like 5,000, because there's a reduction in your income. So that also there was a interest rate also, like,
Yeah.
do you think interest rate will fall or increases?
In this case
When
it
your
will
income
fall.
decreases, it will fall, right?
Yeah.
So here it's vice versa.
Okay.
8. Discount, right? Discount bond offers to pay in 1 year. Maturity, like. So how much? I'm investing 950 now, and in the 1 year I will receive $1,000. So how much? There is a interest rate.
9.5?
Huh?
9.5 or
I don't know. To calculate. A, right? 5.7. 5.3. So like to change interest rate, guys, I told you. There is I, and now I am investing 950. That's investing amount. After 1 year, I receive $1,000. So $1,000 minus 950 divided by 950 multiplied by percent, and you will get 5.3%.
Yeah.
9. Now we don't have like this. We have interest rate and this. It's also again basic math. Here is 0.15 multiplied by P, let's say. So 0.15P equals 100 minus PB. So 1.15P equals how much? 1,000. So 1,000 divided by 1.15. So it will be equal to A, I guess, because we should have like this type of value. Yes. Again, mess. So question 10. For this question, assume that individuals do not hold currency. The money multiplier is equal to what? That's, guys, our money multiplier. There it is. Like here is our one. That's our money multiplier. So C is equal to 0. So correct answer is what? A? C is
No,
equal to 0.
D.
D, yes. Just plug C, 0, like it will be 1 divided by theta. Exercise question 12. Suppose that person's yearly income is $6,000. Also suppose that her money demand for given. What's the demand for interest rate? Is 5%, 10%? Just plug in, guys. You know, like here, income is given, interest rate is also given. Just try to solve by yourself, and I will help you if you cannot. Yes, correct. So, that's income, right?
Yes.
Income is given. You see?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
60,000. means 5 divided by 100. 0.0. Yes.
Can you explain the interpretation of it? What does it mean? When your income increases?
For this one,
Yes.
So the result is $80,000. What does it mean?
so your demand for money is $18,000.
Yes.
So it means that like you want
You
to
get this one?
hold like $18,000 in current form.
Yeah, and you should say
Yes.
in terms of
Not in change.
Yes.
percentage.
Yes.
So in we have also not just 5%. We have also in 10% one. You see, for 10% we have got 15,000 in A, and then we have 7.5 also.
Suppose
decreased
that
by
the interest
50%.
rate is 10%. In percentage terms, what happens to her demand for money if her yearly income is reduced by 50%?
So also reduced by 50%.
So guys, just like for here, for B part, just try to find this one. Like it was $60,000, right? Now her income is decreased by 50%, means that now she has 30,000. And find it with 10% interest rate.
So 30 multiplied to 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
And
7,500, right?
yeah.
So that when her yearly income decreased by 50%, what it has effect on her demand for money. So her demand for money is decreased by also 50%.
Yeah.
That's your interpretation.
So we need to write some assumptions like or just write.
No, first you need to first you're gonna calculate. Then you're gonna say that like if her yearly income is reduced by 50%, her demand for money is also decreased by 50%. That's it?
So we can have some kind of questions here.
Yes, you can have.
Is it $7,500?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in A part it was 15, right? $15,000 when her income was 60. Now it decreased by 50%. Also you can see that like 15,000 also decreased by 50%. So 7,500. Question 13. The public holds no currencies. The ratio of reserves to deposit is 0.1. The demand for money in income is given by this one. So $100 normal income is $1. What is the demand for central bank? So like our theta is equal to 0.1. Like demand, like the ratio of reserves to deposits. That's our that's our ratio. First, just try to solve, and I will help you again. Since we don't have like interest rate, you just need to like put like equation form, like income. What's nominal income is 5 billion, right? So MD is equal to 5 billion multiplied by, for the A part, 0.8 minus 4 multiplied by interest rate.
Mm.
In the B part, like you need to find MD. We are assuming that they are equal. So find the kilometers rate by setting the 1% and equal to this one. So this one equal to another base. This one. 10.
So nominal income is bank supply, yeah?
In just a second. Fine.
This is 19.5%
Hmm?
interest rate.
No, let me see. I need to calculate it by myself. I will tell you. It was 15. Yes.
Can you show how
Yes, yes, I will. Just a second. So monetary base means that like here HD, like my HD means that like each money supplier has that what was reserve
monetary base was M0.
M0, right? My brain is not working. I will erase all. Here is for A part, so we can conclude that MD was equal to, I will just write like 5,000 because like I will assume that it's in billions. For A, that was for A part. That was our demand for central bank for money. And here, find the economic interest rate by setting demand for central bank, money equals supply of central bank. So what is supply of central bank? That I will call it supply of HD, right? If it's 0.1. I don't even know right now I don't even know how I solved it, but I'll try to explain. I need to write what I did in similar. So here, we know that our R is equal to D, and this ratio is equal to 0.1 D. So this shows that like demand for our money, demand for money. So R equal to 0.1 multiplied by 5,000, 0.8 minus 4i. So R will be equal to 500, 0. Minus 4i.
Isn't R 0.1?
R? No, R is not 0.1. Why? You
Ratio
think?
of reserves to deposits.
No, the ratio means that like our theta is, this is the ratio. R is different. R is kind of like our, you can assume that it's kind of supply from the central bank. And D was like demand from central bank or like from the like money or money market. So here also, what was our monetary base was 100. I see that like I need to put here 100. I will if I multiply it like this, then I will have 2000 I. Equal to 300. So I is equal to 0.50. So now I think that guys, so monetary base means that like that's how much money does central bank has or something like this.
Yeah, in reserve.
Yeah, reserve has. So that's our demand function. And here our demand function. We derive this one. Then we need to like reserve equal to this. And monetary base R is equal to your $100 billion. Yeah, then interest rate is 15%. What is the value of for money multiplier? Yes. How did you do it?
1 over reserve ratio.
Yes, 1 over reserve ratio is our money multiplier. And it's going to be equal to 10. That's it. Yes. Given that our money supply equal to our 1 over 10 10 multiplied by 100, like 100 billion, it's gonna be like 1 trillion. And what? How much do we have? We have 5 trillion, right?
Yeah.
5 trillion. So it's not enough because we are demanding 5 trillion, but in supply they have 1 trillion. That's how you're gonna interpret this question. Guys, like bond is easy, right?
Now what about C?
What's the value for money multiplier?
Yeah.
Like our multiplier is 1 over theta. Because here, why you might say that, but it was like this, right? Our multiplier was like this: 1 C plus theta 1 minus C. But if you look at the question carefully, the public holds no currency.
Ah, yeah.
So which means that our C is equal to 0. When our C is equal to 0, our money multiplier is equal to like this, and our ratio is 0.1. That's why like we are getting 10. Yeah, given that overall multiplier, you guys, I think I explained it. What multiplier multiplied by monetary base, 100 billion, 1 trillion. That's supply, and our demand was 5 trillion.
So what multiplied by what?
Hmm?
We multiply what by what?
So reserve ratio.
Uh-huh.
It was like reserve ratio was 0.1, right?
Yeah.
1 minus reserve ratio is money
Uh-huh.
multiplier means 10.
Multiplied
10
by
monetary base. Monetary base was 100 billion.
Yeah.
So if you multiply 100 billion by 10, it will give you 1 trillion. But like what we are demanding is 5 trillion. So no, like we're demanding more, and there's a shortage.
Yeah.
And guys, like you know bonds, right? Here, like calculate interest rate if bond price is today is 7.72. This one. Again, just plug here 800 minus 700 divide by 700. You will find interest rate. Again, this one. And what's the relation between price of bond and interest rate? So when, like by this relation, you can derive the relation between interest rate. For example, let's say 800 minus 7. So what, like, how much is the interest rate? Can you guys calculate, please? 14.3%, right? And minus, and this one is how much? 11.11, right? So guys, what is the relation between price of bond and interest rate? So guys, what we can see here, yeah, when the bond price is lower, the interest rate is higher. When the bond price is higher, interest rate is lower. That's the relation between interest rate and bond price. So guys, that was for today. I will like